here. Juan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly, Juan. Man, thanks so much for hanging around here and sharing some wisdom with us on selling. So give the salespeople a little background on maybe how you got into the industry and a little bit about your process like we talked about yesterday. We were emailing back and forth about it. And tell us a little bit about your background in the industry, how you got into it, and how you're targeting merchants to go into out there in the field right now.
Okay, well, as far as being in the industry, I've been close to about 20 years, I'll say. And the main thing to know is, if you really want to join this industry, I always tell people, you better like it. Because this is a full-time job. You got to be real committed and really like the money. And if you like money, you're in the right place. I mean, I love it myself.
Me too.
I guarantee you every day I get up and I said, okay, how many appointments do I have today? Okay, I have 5. Let me see if I can find another 5 for the next day, and I go out there. But I've already got my plan set up and everything, and I'm very committed to what I need to do every day.
That's
and
great.
Basically, what I recommend everybody is to find something that you're committed to and stick to it.
Yeah.
There is a lot of money to be made, but you got to commit to it. Go to the trainings. You're new in the industry on it. Go to if you want to do research online, do research online. I mean, whatever you can think of, you want to know about EBT, go online and look at what EBT stands for. What is the government doing right now? I know I sent you some information, James, yesterday about EBT and when they started and what are people wanting to know more about EBT services and everything going forward. To me, EBT is bringing about 50% of my sales, because that's what the government is implementing right now, that people have to actually pay for those services. The deadline is September 21st, so there's still a lot of customers out there that they haven't signed up. I wanted to make sure that my video was working because I wanted to show you the different machines that are out there. Companies that are using EBT right now, that were providing actually the service, was Xerox and JP Morgan. They're the biggest providers, and they're no longer allowed to give the service for free. So
Wow.
Going forward, if you go to any grocery store or anybody that says Lone Star or Snap service available, you should stop by and see if they already signed up with someone. And even if they sign up with someone, you should ask them, well, how much are you paying for transaction? Because a lot of these companies are charging the same thing that they charge for a credit card transaction on it. And that's where you can actually negotiate with them. And more than anything, find out if they have a contract. But there's a lot of room out there still. I want to say I have 5 appointments for tomorrow, and I already have another 3 for the following day. And you just keep on at it. And then ask them for the referral. Once I get there, I ask them, well, if you know that what I'm going to help you out, do you have anybody else that you can recommend it or refer me to? But I really don't even use them. Most of the time, it's
Right.
just let him know what I'm going to save them, how I'm going to be able to help them out, and let them know that I'm going to be their customer service. I'm going to be that person that they need to call whenever they have any problems. If they cannot get a hold of me, of course, they have the 1-800 number. But most of the time, they'll be able to get a hold of me for any questions that they have.
Yeah.
And my number one belief is customer service. You always have to assure them, you know what, I'm not going to be that person just walking in there, sign you out with a contract, and you call them the next day and they never call you back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got to make sure that as we build our customer base or merchant base, I'll say, we always go back and just stop by and say hi and say, how you doing? Do you have anybody else for me? And by the way, I do have these people that you can go out and visit or call them up and they'll be interested in your business too. So it's a lot about networking. So going forward, I really don't have a hard time for making the sales, because I either go online, Google the business that I wanna go visit. If I wanna go visit bakery stores that I know they do in Lone Star, I go and see, look at the city that I wanna be at, and look all the bakery stores right there, grocery stores, and I make a list and I start calling them the day before and say, you know what, I'm gonna be in your city tomorrow. I would like to set up an appointment so I can let you know what I can save you on your EBT service. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been calling you. But if you can give me the opportunity, you don't have to sign up. I just need to give you the information, and you decide what you want to do, Mr. Merchant.
Yeah, and I can tell you too from experience, Juan, and you could attest to this as well because we've been doing it. If you're calling and setting appointments, don't call and pitch merchant services. That's like a guaranteed hang up. But If you call and say, I want to come and drop off some free marketing materials and go over them with you, I'm telling you, we have like an 80% close rate on that. Right, Juan? I mean, that's the easy pitch is, I'm not trying to sell anything, but I'm going to be in your area anyway tomorrow. I want to stop by, introduce myself, and give you some free marketing materials.
Exactly. And everybody likes that part that you mentioned right now. Free. Always mention free. Somebody was mentioning to me the other day, what's your email? My email is free and my last name, alfaro71@yahoo.com. The reason I want to give it to them is they were like, well, why always have free? They go, you will always get something for free. Either be something that I have to advise you or that I might have to provide you for, but you will always get something for free with me. But
That's
I
awesome.
can guarantee you that. And people like that. People like, even if you give them, even if you give them $1 off buying a hamburger, they're happy because they got $1 off. The same thing here. Whenever you mention to people that, you know what? I'm going to give you a free roll of paper for your printer because you're signing up with me and whatever. I know it might cost us $1, but the merchant is very happy that you're actually giving them that roll of paper. So whenever you, and when another thing, when I walk into the business, I always tell them, I'm not here to sign you up. I just want to know what you currently do it and what I can help you with. You give me the chance, and then once I'm there, of course, we will get to that point where they will say, you know what? Well, tell me more about it. I will be interested in signing up with you, but I want to know what you can give me. And they go, of course, this is what I can give you. This is what you currently have. Can you see the savings? And then once they start knocking and saying yes, you get into that stage, is that when you have it. And if they're very busy, I'm always making it for, you know what, I'm very busy myself. I'll try to come back. When is the best time to you? Tomorrow? And they go like, well, tomorrow I'm busy. Well, I'm busy myself tomorrow too. Well, what about a couple of days from now? Today is Tuesday. How about if I see you on Thursday? Well, Thursday's not good for me. Well, so when is it good for you? What's a good day for you? Well, how about Friday? We can do a Friday afternoon. Well, let me write you down for Friday because I have a lot of appointments and I want to overbook my appointments and not be able to meet with you.
Yeah.
So once I have that commitment from them, and we go back to the same things, commitment from the customers, commitment from you, and make sure that you're there on time. And one important thing is the presentation. Always dress up as respect for yourself, respect for your customers. I always tell people, presentation is a very key thing that you need to do in order to open those doors. I was telling James, I always wear a suit, and anybody that knows me, they see me without a suit, they say like it's probably gonna rain because you're not wearing a suit. When I see you in the morning, I see you at night, I see you in the restaurants, you're always wearing a suit. Most of the time I'm working, and when I'm not working, I like to dress out when I go out too. So either way, I'm always dressed up. But it's really up to you guys. But presentation is a very, very, very important thing because customers, if you go in jeans and a t-shirt, more than likely say like, well, really, you know what? I don't have time. This other guy from the bank came in wearing a tie and everything on it. I think he probably knows more about than you do about what we're talking about. And on that note, do your homework. If you're going to go into a store that's carrying EBT, know what the current regulations are. Don't let them try to teach you you know what? I got the letter back in in January. Actually, it started in February the 27th when it got approved. And they tell you like, well, I got more information than you do. What can you offer me for EBT? Well, I got better rates. So, but what is it that you have here? Well, what can you do for EBT? How did the machine work? What machine do you have? Well, fortunately for us, the machines that they were using before was a VX520 with JP Morgan, and Cirrus was creating a VX, I want to say it's a VX510. That was Cirrus had, which is similar to what we have right now with the VX520. Other than that, the customer likes that they're going to be using a familiar equipment, and then I have to retrain their employees, and they're going to be making mistakes on it. But what you want to let them also know is that our VX520 is already ready with the EMV, is the European Master Visa card system already for next year coming up. So that's a lot of closing points.
Yeah, Juan, let me back up for 1 second because I know I've got a bunch of newer salespeople on here that are like, what are they talking about with this EBT? So let me just summarize for just like 30 seconds, okay? So basically, you got the food stamp, the SNAP card, EBT. So people that have benefits for getting food benefits on a card now. It's like a SNAP card or EBT card. The free terminals for EBT are done. Is that a fair way to summarize?
Yes, Yes,
Okay.
the government rule, actually they passed a law in February of 28, to be exact, that they're no longer going to be providing the service for free.
So
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, James.
go ahead.
Going forward, whenever you mention to the customers or merchants, mention it's not free, but we don't charge you for it. We lend you the equipment as long as we get a return and everything, like
Right.
EBT was doing. They charge actually $495 if you didn't return the equipment. We charge $425, but they don't pay a penny. I had a company call in today, one of my merchants, and was telling that they actually work through EBT, and the name of the company was called EBT Service. And they were actually lying. They wanted to charge them $499 for the machine. When they meant free, that they didn't charge you every month, but now you have to return it.
Really important. The last thing I wanted to do, Juan, before I get back to some questions, is clarify for them because a lot of them hear you and they're like, okay, this guy's been in the industry for 20 years and he's doing 20 deals a month like clockwork, and you're saying, hey, this is just a simple system. But share kind of the numbers, like you mentioned with me earlier. I mean, how many businesses are you walking into? How many of those are converting into sales? How are you actually getting 20 sales a month plus?
Okay, per day, I base myself that I gotta visit at least 10 new businesses. Out of those 10 new businesses, I gotta close one. And out of those 10 that I visit, I gotta follow up at least with 5. Meaning that I close one, I have 5 that they're still thinking about it, and I probably set up an appointment for later on that week or later another week to go back with them because either they were busy or they have to talk to their wife or partner or somebody else. But I'll visit 10 businesses a day. I'll make it a point. Once I start setting up appointments, of course, it's going to be a little bit harder for me to visit 10 businesses because I already have 5 appointments that day.
Right.
But when you start off, you got to visit at least 10 businesses and really give the opportunity to listen to those people, see what they need, and be able to at least try to close one a day. So one a day will give you 5 a week. 4 weeks, that will give you 20 sales. And I'll be honest with you, I've been trying to hit about 30, 35 a month. Because once you start building up your pipelines and everything on it, you end up finding out sometimes you end up closing 2 or 3 a day. And sometimes you'll be just visiting. You're going to have a day that all you're going to do is sometimes you just visit them and then say, you know what, come back tomorrow or come back the next day, but I am interested. I had one of those days today. I actually visited 2 grocery stores, and they're pretty big. And at first they were not interested. They were, you know what, I've been calling everybody else and everybody's higher than you. Come back tomorrow and I'll have an answer for you, and then I won't waste your time again. I was like, perfect. Tomorrow I'll come back. I have my paperwork ready for you. So,
That's awesome.
I mean, the thing is to be persistent on it and commit yourself into having those 10 new customers every day. And like I said, it's real easy to find them. Google the companies if you want to visit, restaurants, grocery stores, bakery stores. As you're going down the street, you will see the volume on the business that you go through. If you don't have a chance to stop by, what I do is I have a notepad and a recorder. Depending which one I can get my hands on, I'll write their phone number down, call them later on that day or the next day, or I record it in the little portable recorder that I have. Don't forget to stop by, or don't forget to call Mr. Customer right here. And when I get home, I make my notes and set up my appointment for next day. Like I said, I wish I have my little video so I can have show you. I have a little board in my office, and like right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that I have sent already, and right now I have 9 potential leads that I know I'm going to be able to close. Out of those 9, I should be able to close at least 8 of them. I say 1 is in the works because they're actually working with their bank and they have a contract. I got to see what I can do about as far as the contract goes.
Wow. Yeah, and by the way, Juan, thank you so much. I mean, the information is great. It's so funny. I just looked at our GoToWebinar. I'm like, wow, it's 8:15. We're 15 minutes over. I'm sure like a lot of people have dropped off. Since you started talking, I haven't had one person leave the webinar. So everybody wants to hear, how do you get 20 sales a month? And, if I'm hearing you correctly, Juan, what you're basically saying is be committed to the business, look sharp, know what you're talking about, and walk into 10 businesses a day.
I'm sorry, my phone cut off a little bit.
And walk into 10 businesses every day, 10 new businesses every day.
Yes, correct. And like I said, it's not that hard. I don't know how big is the town you're living in and everything on it, but I'm pretty sure you have gone to your Walmart store or around the neighborhood at one point or another, and you have seen the stores that you visit, the grocery stores, If you're starting, I recommend for you to start with the mama and papa stores. The franchise, I know they're a little bit bigger. As the bigger the business, a little bit harder to get to the owner or person in charge.
Right.
But going forward, start with the mama and papas and start early in the morning. That's when you actually find the owners. Or sometimes you have to start late at night. That's when they go back to the business.
Mm-hmm.
If the owner runs the place, if it's a restaurant, your best time will be right after they finish breakfast, which will be around 10:30 or 11.
Yeah.
And then go back after they finish lunch, which will be between 2:30 and 4 o'clock. And if not closing time, most of the restaurants will close between 6 and 7 if they're family owned. So you find out what is the best time for them, and always try to set up an appointment with them because they're always going to be busy. And main thing is just let them know, hey, I'm just stopping by to visit, see how I can help you out and you can help me out. And if you can give me some time, I'll be glad to explain to you what I can do for you.
Juan, thank you again very much for your time. I'm sure we'll have to do another one of these sometime soon. That was great. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Awesome.